this is nothing but just the truth about why pupils are banning schools all over the country. Like if you look at it, it's been a recurring problem, and if you think about it, it's just children are just trying to play and blend into this social problem. Teachers are supposed to teach, but I guess one thing teachers of this age have forgotten is that children observe more and learn less. You see, if you want to beat them, force them into education, it never works. The reality about it is a teenager is a person who needs understanding and love more than they need anything else. They're at the face of their age, which is controlled by emotions, hormones. They don't even understand themselves and everything. So what happens is these children are reacting. Their teachers have taught them that if you don't agree with anything, the best way to do is demonstrate. You see, call the government liars and everything, and so these children are just adopting in another phase. They're children to start with. We got to understand and accept it. So as children, they're playful in nature, and they are in a stage of their life where fitting in a community, creating their own community, and is the thing. Being the bad boy is a good thing. Being the bad girl is a bad thing. Drinking alcohol is a cool guy. Smoking weed is a cool guy. You gotta understand that this is the reality of life. And if you remember as a parent, this is for you parents. When you were young and you were a teenager, remember your age. Maybe you were not in a phase where you exposed so many things, but I wanna know that you were rebellious. You see, some of you would throw stones on our mothers' houses because you had no phones. Others would wait for them going to the river and stuff. So you gotta understand that things have changed. And children are just adapting to what they've been taught. If their teachers can strike, if our doctors strike, if you disagree with anything in this nation, is about strike. You see, it's a striking nation. It's the only way we can do it. And children are playful in nature, so they're gonna play with the fire. You see, they're gonna burn the dormitory, not because they're rude boys. These are not rude boys, these are children. They don't even understand why they're doing it. If you ask that person in 5 years from now, after they mature from this stage, they won't tell you why they did it. They just did it because they thought it was good to do it. You see, so these children need to be understood. And these children need to be taught that the only way to change facts, I had somebody saying in the news that we need to reintroduce the cane. Well, I'd call that ignorance. And we all know that ignorance has no defense. Remember that Chicago boys, which was the worst scandal we've ever had in strikes. Hundreds of boys died in Chicago boys. And reality about it is Chicago boys happened because at that time children or peoples of that stage were fighting because the cane was a problem to them. They didn't want to be caned again, they didn't want to be beaten again. You see, so we got to understand that taking us back to that problem is ignoring that problem caused a bigger damage than the problem today. So I'd suggest we just find the problem today. You see, understand the problem in schools today. If the kids don't want to do their exam, then understand why. You see, if you don't ask the question, then we're going to say more fires. You see, and one serious fire is going to wake this nation into realizing that it's a problem. And this is something we can solve. You see, I believe in talking and understanding. And because these are children, let's show them that banning this school, it's not a solution. This is a message to all of you pupils who will see this video. School property is not your property. It's school property. It's government property. Destroying it doesn't solve any of your problems. You see, if you want to solve your problem, then talk about it. Form a committee in school. You see, say you don't want to do the mock because of this and this and this and this. So what is taking your parents for another loss? Because reality is, when you go back to that school, you're going to have to pay, all of you, whether you banned or you didn't ban. So what's the point of taking your parents for a loss? I know some of you have parents who are struggling to have you in those schools. And you're adding pressure on them. Now they have to add like 5K more because you banned a school. You see, leave that property alone and talk about it. You see, I think this whole nation needs to be taught again. We need to re-understand that humanity is based on conversation, talking, solving our problems like human beings. And we need to teach our children that fires demonstrating, strikes, refusing to work is not a solution. That's a problem that we need to solve. I'm so mad right now. Kiki Masai is my name. You can like my Facebook page at King Masai. You can also follow me on Twitter, Kiki Masai. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Kiki Masai. Peace.